Hi, my name's Rusty Mullen. I help people with technology. Been doing it ever since I was a teenager. Today, I am making this video because Zoom, I'm a paying customer of yours. I use your tool in order to make life easier for my clients and for friends and family, specifically for people who are a little bit older or people who are a lot less familiar with technology, which sometimes that Venn diagram, those two circles are, they contain the same members or a lot of the same members. And I have a problem with a decision you have made. Now, it's not a decision that you are unique in. This seems to be a decision made by quite a few companies out there. But the decision you've made is for your meeting controls to disappear. Now, this applies mostly to people who are using your meetings online, which is how I use them. In fact, making this video is one of the first times I've ever used the actual Zoom app that's locally on my desktop. I log into Zoom online. I send meeting invites online. In fact, I have a standing meeting. And for clients that I help or, people I help regularly, what I do is I make them a shortcut on their desktop to my standing meeting. They call me, they have a technical problem, they click on the icon, we go into the meeting. Unfortunately, you have made the decision to make the controls for the meeting disappear. You have also made the decision that the setting to make the controls stay visible is only available in the Zoom app. Now, because your program will not allow me to see everything my clients see or everything a person who's not a client that I'm just helping see, I have to try to walk them through that part being blind, and they don't always know exactly what they're looking for. It sure would be nice that if at least for the online version, you made two things happen. First, leave the meeting controls on by default. The only reason I can think you could possibly choose to do this is some idea of style, because there is this trend, and it's been going on for a while, where controls for programs, meetings, all sorts of different applications, they show up for a moment or two and then they disappear. And it's not very clear for people who are not very technically, oriented to know how to get those controls to come back. And so I've spent quite a bit of time trying to tell people how to make your Zoom meeting controls turn back on. And of course, the second decision is you made it so the only way to turn the controls on permanently is for someone to install the separate local Zoom app, go in there and find a little checkbox and put a check in it that says leave the Zoom meeting controls on all the time. Please reverse both of those decisions. For people who really care about the style, that want those Zoom meeting controls to disappear, they can probably find them quite easily. And you could make it much easier for people who are only using the web application, the web version of your application, and put that check mark in the web controls as well. It's not difficult. I don't understand why this decision keeps being made, not just in Zoom, but in many other applications. People really don't want you to upgrade anything just so you can change where the controls are or just so you can change what they're called for the purposes of style. There's an old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, this particular decision is broke. It makes it very difficult, especially for people who are not very technically oriented. So, like I said, I'll just repeat, please change your program such that when someone logs into the meeting, because here's the thing, many of the people who join a Zoom meeting are joining for the very first time, and they will never install the Zoom desktop application locally because they don't need to. They get an invite from someone, it lets them join through the website. So the fact that you don't have full control through the website makes your product less useful for helping people who need technical advice, technical expertise. So I encourage you, please get the decision makers in the room and play them this video, or at least tell them a synopsis of it. I'd be happy to join in the meeting and show someone just how incredibly frustrating this decision has made providing service to people. I pay for your application because it can be very easy for people to join a meeting. But I've had to start looking at other products because it's not easy for people to be able to find that strip of controls. I mean, even the share screen button disappears on a regular basis. Why? Thank you.